Yo, it's a late upload here, man. Wasn't even gonna do a video today. Late upload. Let's run through the weather real fast. Early start time will help avoid any storms for the Minnesota Baltimore game here. Atlanta at Miami at Atlanta. Few pop ups this afternoon. I'm not too impressed with the coverage. Lower end chance of delay. Chances of a delay. For this Washington Philly, chance of a delay, especially late, hot, humid, winds out at 10 miles an hour. You know the drill. Winds out at 10 miles an hour. Milwaukee at Pittsburgh looks like a pretty solid afternoon window for baseball. San Diego at Cincinnati, mostly chance for delay, especially late. I could see a scenario where they don't finish all nine, but don't think it's the most likely outcome here. Okay, don't have a picture out for the San Diego Padres game here. I didn't look at this game because I knew the weather was concerned. But you know it's Great America Ballpark. We know we put up runs there. We know it's a lefty, Abbott. I like San Diego Padres versus lefties. So we'll see what the lines come out at, and we'll see. I didn't look at a lot. I didn't look at no bats or anything. Um, Cleveland and Chicago looks very late startish to me. Basically sums it up. They should just delay this game and just play it late because the window later. It's gonna be no rain. That's what Chicago's should do there. Um, Detroit and Colorado, low coverage of weak storms, low chance of any delay. Winds in from center at 10 miles an hour. But hey, who cares? Because it's still Course. If you don't know about Course, they're giving up the most home runs, most runs, and all that shit. So you got two highly anticipated runs games on the docket with Coors and Great America Ballpark here. And then the San Francisco Giants storms likely not all night, but likely during the game. All right, orange yellow, San Francisco Giants and New York Mets. All right. So let me minimize that a little bit more. Okay. I'll leave it at that, and then let me get out of here. All right. So, uh, let's try to let's try to run through this real fast. All right. Minnesota Twins at Baltimore Orioles. We got Gray on the mound. We got Irvin on the mound. We got over under 9 in this spot. I was looking at a couple bats here. All right. Um, Ryan O'Hearn. He hasn't been good. Okay, I mean he's been cold. Okay, but he hits lefties well. All right, I can probably only look to him for home run at the 858. I mean he hits righties well with the 859 OPS versus righties. All right. Gunnar Henderson, he hits righties hard, all right, with an 812 OPS versus righties. I haven't looked into any of the Minnesota bats here. But one thing whether it's a righty or whether it's a lefty, they strike out. You know what I'm saying? They do strike out, so that's one thing you can count on. All right. But the pitcher has to have that shit as well. All right. So Irving, he doesn't have that immense K stuff. 4.5. Am I gonna go there? Probably not. But I'm just pointing it out. All right, just in case you want to do a lotto or something like that. I don't fucking know. It is what it is. All right. If I'm picking a side, and this one's probably gonna be Baltimore Orioles or nothing. Miami Marlins at Atlanta Braves here over under 8.5 in this spot. I don't have to tell you about this Atlanta Brave bats. Okay, we got Alcantara, we got Strider on the mound. Last time these two teams last time a Strider pitched against them, I think he had 13 Ks. Nothing spectacular. 13 Ks. It is what it is. It's proper sitting at 8.5 right now. I wouldn't take the under there, so I'll lean towards the over towards strikeouts at 8.5 for Strider. Couldn't talk you off him taking him up to 10. It is what it is. Or more. Who cares? I mean, I mean, it is what it is. All right. I always target righties with Olsen and Okuna. Those would be my guys there. What else? But when it all else fails, you know, over 1.5 runs at minus 105. We've been hitting now. Last two games he didn't get there, but I mean I couldn't talk over that for any pitcher. Okay, 1.5 walks here for Sandy Alcantara is in play, and even 1.5 walks for Spencer Strider. Okay, so I can give you guys a timeline for the walks here. he's Spencer Strider. He's 11 for 16 to this number here, but I probably won't take it because Minnesota haven't been Miami haven't been walking. All right, so I'm probably not gonna take it. I'll just live with the strikeouts. All right. And the earned runs for him at 1.5 at a minus 160. He's 10 for 16 to this number. Any pitcher in the world can give up 2 runs. So I couldn't talk you off of that. Alcantara, his earned runs line sitting at 3.5. Uh, and then his walk prop sitting at 1.5. Now I have interest in his walks here. Okay, 1.5. So I'll look at the walks for Alcantara, the earned runs for um I'll earn runs for Strider, strikeouts for Strider. Okay, those are some plays that are in play outside of the other plays. The bats, we know about the bats. Now I'm worried about the bats. It'll be Atlanta Braves or nothing for me. All right, Washington Nationals at Philadelphia Phillies here. A spot where I do expect Philly to put up some runs here. Suarez on the mound, Williams on the mound. I get a pitcher lean towards Philly here. All right, we want to target lefties versus Williams. Okay, so I have some bats here. First and foremost, let's take a look at Schwarber here. Schwarber has 4 home runs versus this guy. Uh, he is batting. Yeah, he has 4 home runs versus his guy. Only thing, Schwarber has a 679 OPS versus lefties, but he smacks the ass. He smacks him around. So if you want to, get to him, it is what it is. Trevor Williams is giving up 800 OPS towards lefties. Now, Schwarber, like I say, he's 10 for 34, batting 294, 4 singles, two doubles, and 4 home runs versus Trevor Williams. All right. You can look at now. We got some guys that got some history versus him. You can, speaking of lefties, you can look at Harper. Harper. Harper is only 1 for 7 versus him. He's got an 837 OPS versus righties, and like I said, Trevor Williams pitching is worse at 800 OPS versus left-handed pitching. I mean batters. All right, I don't know why. Um, and Trevor Williams, 11.6 barrel rate. He's giving up home runs to. He's giving up the home runs. 11.5 barrel rate. All right. So I don't know why. You know, Harper has to gain some of his power back. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. When it comes to that. On the flip side, I'm looking at Oh, Castellanos. He's 10 for 25, 5 singles, 4 doubles, and a home run. And as good as he's been hitting lately, yeah, I couldn't talk you off a home run for him. And a host of other guys are hitting a home run versus this kid. Now, now, the only bat I'm looking at right now is going to be Lane Thomas here. Um, but bat and a half, all right, a bat and a half, because you could look at Thomas here, of course, and let's see. Um, I know he's batting like 1,000 OPS versus left hand pitching, so we can get that shit out the way. And then actually 1,100 OPS versus lefties. And then Suarez, he's been pitching really, really good though. He's been pitching really, really good. I'm just want to point these guys out. Riley Adams, man. If Riley Adams is in the lineup, he's hitting lefties well as well. Okay, so I didn't check his splits. It's probably what he probably end up. He probably got good splits. So that's how that's what you can look at there. All right. Don't know. Did I put any these guys here in my player pool for parlay pieces, pitching parlay pieces? No, I did not add any pitching parlay pieces. Okay, let me keep it moving. Um, Richard Hill. We got Colin Ray on the mound, Rich Hill on the mound, over under 9 in this spot. Um, I don't have nothing for this game, man. You can look at Christian Yelich has been playing some good ball. I did take a glance at Contreras. He looked kind of contrarian for me. Contreras. If you're looking for a home run on the Pittsburgh side, you could look at Jack Sawinski, but I'm gonna keep it moving. All right, Toronto Blue Jays. Over under 8 in this spot. We got Whitlock. We got Gosman on the mound. Wasn't looking at too many bats here, but I was looking at the strikeout prop here for Gosman at 6.5. I'll lean towards the over. Um, Toronto Blue Jays. I mean, these guys are striking out at on the season they're striking out at a 26 clip, but over the last 30 days and last 2 weeks, Boston have been striking out I couldn't talk you off of that there. Couple that with the fact that um, let's see, Gosman, he has a 30% K rate, man. Uh, Across the board, I want to say, yeah, 32 overall, 31.7 versus lefties, 33.3 versus righty. So, his K props are always in play when it comes to that situation there. Keep an eye out on the lineup here. K percentages, you catch some guys in there, but it is what it is. That's what I was looking at here. Couldn't talk you off some other bets. I didn't want to bring these bets out to you all, but I mean, just off of BVP, and Justin Turner might still be hot, but he's got a semi good history versus this kid. Uh, he's 7 for 17 with 2 home runs, 3 singles, and 2 doubles. Justin Turner is batting 720 OPS versus right hand pitching. Justin Turner is batting um, 277 on the season. Okay, so it is what it is. There, this San Diego Padres game we just touched on. I don't know who's going to be pitching there. We got weather concerns here. Keep an eye out on the weather. If it was sunny and things of that nature, I would take the over here. All right. But versus lefties though, they got some. I like this team. Manny Machado, um, you know, Manny Machado, Grisham, and Tatis. Those are my guys versus lefties here on this team. Los Angeles Dodgers at Kansas City Royals. Here we got an over under 9.5. We got Gonsolin on the mound. We got Singer on the mound, and uh, you know these Dodgers. I think they're in a good spot here. Singer's giving up an 800 OPS to both sides of the bat here, lefties and righties. I like bats here. I like Jason Hayward, he's 2 for 2 versus this kid. I'm not even looking at that, but he does have a 829 OPS versus right hand pitching. JD Martinez, you could look at him for a bomb, almost a 900 OPS versus righties. Mookie has been off the chain as of late. You could look at him for whatever you want. 838 OPS versus righties. Freddie Freeman is definitely in play. So it's a lot of bats that look green in my model over here. So it is what it is. On the pitching side is where it looks kind of, I don't know, man. I just feel like he's just going to try to sell me in this spot. I mean, you're going to get a plus 106 for 4.5 strikeouts for Tony Gonsolin. Uh, Kansas City Royals are fifth in striking out versus right hand pitching. Looking at them on the season. Well, let's see. Last 30 days, Kansas City Royals are striking out the um, 11th most versus right hand pitching. Hmm. Last 14 days, how have they looked versus right hand pitching? Kansas City Royals are 26th in the league and 331 plate appearances versus right hand pitching. Interesting. What are they? WRC plus versus right hand pitching. They second worst. Mm. What about the last 30 days? WRC plus versus right hand pitching. Second worst. Then you couple that with the fact that they got his outline sitting at Gonsolin's outline sitting at 15 and a half. That means he has to go inside the sixth inning and gets one out and don't finish it. Give me the over 15 and a half outs. Lean, lean towards the over 4.5 Ks for Gonsolin because I think this motherfucker will sell. For some reason, that line just looks too good. This motherfucker better not sell. But he's got a K percentage at 19.5. 24 and a half to lefties and 15.4 to righties. These numbers look fishy as hell. I might end up staying away from that shit. I might end up staying away from it, but who knows, man? I'm just a messenger. Give me them Dodgers, money line parlays, run line straights. New York Yankees at St. Louis Cardinals here. Not too much looking at the bats here outside of the usual suspects. It's gonna be Stanton, Rizzo, Goldsmith, Arenado. Arenado has 3 home runs versus him, and Harrison Bader. He's got good numbers versus lefties. But what I'm looking at here, some pitcher props. Now I couldn't talk you off the pitching prop for for the strikeouts for Garrett Cole. Couldn't talk about the strikeouts for Garrett Cole. I don't know if I'm gonna get there. He's on fire to this number at 6.5. Don't know if I'm gonna get there. Righties coming in there have been coming in there getting their strikeouts. Not of late, these last three games, but prior to that, 13 of their last 15 pitchers had came in there and hit their strikeout. These are strike check marks right here. Are pitchers that got there, the right hand pitchers that got there versus St. Louis. Okay, so it is what it is. Jordan Montgomery, his out prop sitting at 17 and a half right now. Let's fact check that real quick. Outs for him sitting at 16 and a half on prize on DraftKings. Now, this is what I like here. I'll take my chances with that, against this team. 16 and a half, he doesn't have to go to full six. If he does go to full six, so be it. Go inside the 15 inning and give me 2 outs so I can cash this 16 and a half. All right. So those are some looks that I have right there. Um let me see. Um, Earned runs for Cole at one and a. Oh, it says 2.5. I was gonna say 1.5. I'll take the stab there. All right, Cleveland Guards at Chicago Cubs here. We got over under 8. I don't have a play in. I don't have a play on the game, but I'll tell you. I'm looking at a few bets here. Um, on the Cleveland side, Ramirez be number one. Followed behind him would be Josh Naylor. Followed behind him, if you catch somebody like Brenham in the lineup, then Brennan in the lineup, then you could look at him. He's a lefty specialist on the road. That's that's what it splits. That's how it splits read. Okay, so there you have that. And like I said, Italian, he's giving up 1,000 OPS towards lefties there. So top bat's gonna be Ramirez, and then on the Cubs side, it's gonna have to be Morel again for me, man. He's 900 OPS versus right hand pitching. Yes, it's gonna be Morel for me. Okay, so there you have that. Let me speed this up. All right, Houston Astros at Texas Rangers. We got over on the 9 in this spot. Hey, I expect runs to be put up on this one. I'm gonna lean towards the over here. Dubin on the mound, and then got Heaney on the mound. There's some guys here like um, there's some guys here that hit. They got some history from versus Heaney, and then they got some lefties that can hit him down the line, further down the line if they're in the lineup. Like Maldonado, he can hit lefties. Um, Dubon, he can hit lefties. Um, who else? Oh, Jose, no, not um, oh, my guy from the Sox, he's got 4 home runs versus him. He's just got good history versus him. Jose Abreu, he's got four. He's 4 for 13. All 4 of them were home runs. So there you have that. Outside of your Bregmans and your Altuves, and which Kyle Tucker, I like him in lefty lefty matchups. He's almost a 900 OPS versus lefty, so he's definitely in play. And then you got the Texas Rangers. All right. Hey, I can't talk you off any of those bats. Give me the over here at 9. If they don't hit, it don't hit. Same thing with this Detroit Tigers at Colorado Rockies. It's Coors Field. You expect runs to be put up in this one here. I can't do nothing but lean towards the over. I'm not betting it because I'm betting bats. It's going to be Colorado Rockies and nothing. If I was to pick a side, I never pick sides here though. All right. But look now. But these guys are getting healthy. They got CJ Crime back. They got Chris Bryant back in the lineup here. Favorite bats right now, numbers wise, probably Ryan McMahon, almost a 900 OPS versus that handedness. And if Nolan Jones is in the lineup here, I think he's got a 900 OPS versus that handedness as well. So those are a few batters that I could point out there. But it's Coors Field. Anybody and your mama can hit a home run up out of there. All right, Arizona Diamondbacks at Los Angeles Angels here. We got an over under 8.5 here. Zach Gallen on the road. I don't like him as much on the road as I like him at home. That's where he pitches his best is at home. He's a little bit more vulnerable on the road. versus the Los Angeles Angels team with Detmers, who's pitching really, really well. We got over under 8.5 in this spot. And Los Angeles Angels, they are, they right behind um they right behind Atlanta in hitting righties. Okay, so I can show you some of the numbers real fast. Um, I don't, but Gallen is still a good pitcher. All right, don't get it twisted. But last 30 days here, let's take a look at the WRC plus here. At Los Angeles Angels, right up under Atlanta. All right, 134 WRC plus OPS, right up under number two. Okay, isolated power, number two. Slugging, um, number two. Okay, so they here. You know what I'm saying? They here. Now, I don't know if a lot of that came from that game where they put up 25 runs, but it ain't none of my business. Otani is always in play against any pitcher here. Detmer's been pitching really, really good here. Let's take a look at some of these numbers here. All right. So Detmers, the strikeouts for him has been looking great. 7 strikeouts or 8 strikeouts or more in 4 straight games. The outs here, 17 and a half. That means he has to go 3 straight games. Just hit that. The walks, couldn't talk you off the walks here. He has a 2 walk problem on his own. All right. So his walks are in play. And that's about it. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing else I'll look at there for him. And then, like I said, Zach Gallen, his earned run sitting at 2.5. The walks for Zach Gallen are in play at 1.5, and the K's I probably won't go there, even though it's a pretty low number, and this team will strike out. So I couldn't talk you off of it. He hasn't faced this team this season. We'll see. All right. Tampa Bay versus Seattle. That's the next game. Tampa Bay versus Seattle over under 7.5 in this spot. We got Bradley on the mound, Castillo on the mound. Then we got Tampa Bay on the road. And Tampa Bay on the road is not where I really, really like to back them. They go on slumps on the road. Bradley has immense K stuff. Castillo has good K stuff. All right. Hmm. Some bats. All right. Some bats that I had to the side here was let me see. Um, Luis Castillo, he pitches his worst to the lefties, which is not bad as a 735 OPS. So I would probably target, some of these lefties. Luke Rayleigh's 800 OPS versus 817 OPS versus lefties. And then you got some righties that hit lefties well, your Rose Arenas and stuff like that. But keep in mind these guys are on the road, and Tampa Bay just don't perform, like they do at home on the road. That's one thing you can look at. Taj Bradley got good case stuff. Okay, Cape. Let's just take a look at what his case shit looking like here. He's got good case stuff there. So his K percentage sitting at 32%, 34 to lefties, 30 to righties. So but he will give up the long ball, especially towards righties, and that's where he pitching his worst at towards right hand batters. Okay, he's pitching his worst towards right hand batters. All right. Strikeout percentage here. Um, I didn't really too much look though, but let's take a look here on the season. Um, Seattle on the season striking out second most versus right hand pitching. All right. Now let's see what they've done for us lately. All right. Last 30 days, strikeout percentage, Seattle third at 26.2 and 718 plate appearances. That's good. I like it. I mean, it's not good, but that's good if you want to take the K's for him. Um, Seattle, last 14 days, 369 plate appearances versus right hand pitching, 28.2 K percentage. Okay. So they are striking out. They are striking out. All right. Just gotta watch the long ball here. All right. Gotta watch the long ball. I think if he don't give up a lot of those long balls, some his strikeout prop should be in play here at 6.5. He does have this K stuff. He does have it. So we'll see. Even if you want to tease it down, it is what it is. If he comes out here and gets shelled, then it is what it is. All right. And then on the flip side, Castillo got good case stuff too. His line is sitting at 7.5. Don't know if I'll get there. But this line sitting at 7.5. All right, and I didn't look at this last game, man. But this just about sums it up, man. I know it's a late upload, but hey, better late than never. Keep an eye on you guys' lineups. I can't tell you guys that enough. Can't stress that enough. If you guys are playing on FanDuel and uh you're not looking at the lineups, uh, and you taking these guys for home runs and stuff like that, and then they don't. Just like last night, Muncie, he came in and pinched hit. Now, if you had him for one hit, okay, cool. But a home run, boom, that fucked up. Guy's parlay that I seen, he had 4 home runs right, 3 home runs right. Had Muncie to go, and it was over with. So it is what it is, guys. Peace out.